Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk, Interviewserie, Vancouver, 1. Oktober. Habe ein Update mit Fremont Gold und zwar deswegen auch, weil wir im Mai, glaube ich, Mai war mein letztes Interview, da war die Company in Transaction mir hat es einfach interessiert, was ist daraus geworden, gerade weil ja der Goldmarkt an neuen Leben eingehaucht worden ist und wir ja davor stehen, ja den neuen Zyklus fortzusetzen, und da ist es einfach interessant, dass man solche Stories hört, die sich dann dementsprechend auch entwickeln können. Thank you to have time. I said in my German introduction that we do our first interview in May, June or something.
Yes.
And the reason why I come back is in May, June, your company was in transition, was looking for something new.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first reason. The second reason is, in the meantime, and this is the good development, we see a nice boom, nice run in the gold price.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment we are in the consolidation phase, but for me, I strongly believe that we are now 100% in a new bull market, and the next 2-3 years it should be a really good market for us. So, and that's mean that we are looking for good companies.
Yeah, well, you're in the right place. So,
perfect.
Yeah,
so,
like you, I agree that we are in the very beginning stages of a big bull market. And I think, over this past 9 years, we might have been faked out once or twice thinking the bull market was upon us, and some of us did get burned. But I have absolute conviction that we are at the very beginning of a gold market, a big gold rally that's going to see previous gold highs surpassed. Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. So what's happened since June?
Yeah, a lot has happened. When we last met in June, I was talking about how Fremont was looking to pivot. We were looking to crystallize the value of our projects in and around Rob McEwen's gold bar, and we were successful in doing so. So we sold Gold Canyon at the end of August to McEwen for 300,000 of their shares, which is great. Those shares today are worth, approximately $650,000. So it means that there's no immediate need for us to have to raise money at these levels. And yesterday we announced a new project acquisition. So when we were looking to sell our assets to McEwen, which I thought we were going to be successful, and we were, the next question was, well, what are you going to do? I mean, if you get rid of Gold Bar and Gold Canyon, you're going to only be left with 3 projects. So you're going to need to beef up your property portfolio. So we've been very focused on that since March, looking at assets, looking for advanced stage projects. And the acquisition we made yesterday fits the bill. It's in Nevada, which is a jurisdiction we love and want to remain in. It has a historic resource. It has over 140 drill holes. And more importantly, we think it has a really compelling Carlin-type target that's relatively shallow. So right now, Cobb Creek is our #1 exploration property.
What do you pay for this?
One of the other things I liked about Cobb Creek is that it was a relatively inexpensive transaction. Essentially, we will be paying or providing to Clover, and Clover is the wholly owned subsidiary of Contact Gold, 1.5 million shares and $370,000 over 9 years. So it's small payments each year over an extended period, plus $120,000 to an underlying property vendor over 4 years. So in total, it's 1.5 million shares and $470,000 US over a long time period. So we won't be faced with a situation where each year you have to come up with a large sum of money, which can be challenging. So they're smaller chunks of money over an extended period of time, which won't put too much pressure on the balance sheet. And of course, if we have success, we can accelerate those payments and just take it 100%. So for a project with close to 200,000 ounces gold, historical ounces, really you're just paying about, around $3 an ounce in the ground, which is pretty attractive.
So how many ounces was in the historical resources?
The historical resource estimate is 178,900 290 ounces gold, so almost
Okay.
200,000 ounces
Okay.
gold, and all near surface. And when I talked about the Carlin type target, we think it's a great environment for it. And when you looked at the historical drilling of the 140 holes, almost all of them were shallow, only 90 to 125 meters in depth.
Okay.
There were only 4 deeper holes of 160 meters to 366 meters in depth. So really, it hasn't been tested below 366 meters, and they didn't get into the lower plate sequence. So we think there's a really good opportunity for a Carlin type target at depth, and that would be the focus of an exploration program at Cobb Creek.
But this is a historical resource, it's not
Correct.
updated for
So
the 311.
yes, so it's not 43-101 compliant. That is something we could look to do in the future with exploration success, but right now we wouldn't be looking to update that resource estimate at present until we've actually done some work and if we have success.
So what are your plans now for this project?
Right now the plans for the project would be to do some earlier stage exploration work, do perhaps some more soil, some more chip and rock and grab samples, really look to try to identify where a Carlin type target might be. Is it going to be immediately below the historic resource? Could it be somewhere else on the property? Because there are a number of other targets that were tested and weren't adequately followed up. So we really want to determine the best spot for drilling to test for a Carlin type target. So that work probably, it may get underway this year. I think it's largely going to depend on what other projects we bring in. So we have brought in Cobb Creek, and that is our number one property right now. But I am looking to add other additional advanced stage projects to the portfolio. And based on what other projects we bring in, will help determine what project's going to be number one for next year. So I expect between here and the end of the year, some additional advanced stage gold project acquisitions as well.
But in Nevada?
I would say Nevada. I mean, we are focused in Nevada. We've been looking at projects in the Great Basin, and the Great Basin essentially does encompass all of Nevada. It also contains or comprises parts of Utah, Idaho, Oregon, and California. But I really would only look at probably Idaho, Utah, and Nevada. And almost all the projects we've looked at so far are Nevada.
So that means this year is more the focus to acquire more projects, and then next year then rethink what you get the most value for your buck.
Absolutely.
And then going forward.
Absolutely. Right now the focus is basically getting our ducks in a row for next year. So we have some earlier stage projects. We've acquired Cobb Creek, which is advanced. I want to acquire other projects like Cobb Creek, other advanced stage projects, and then determine, based on whatever future acquisition we make, which project we feel has the best potential for new discovery.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I was a little bit surprised now is that then it's actually sounds like a plan, and it's the best what you can do in this environment. What you
Yeah, and you know, one of the other important considerations actually is the weather. So we are close to entering into winter in Nevada, and drilling in Nevada, in northern Nevada in the winter can be really challenging. It can get very, very cold. There can be a lot of snow. So if you're not going to be starting a drill campaign in northern Nevada probably by the end of October, you should probably wait till the spring.
So it makes really no sense. So you have really now more time to acquire more, set up then the plans for the next year, and then execute the plan next year.
Absolutely, that's exactly right.
So, so that's mean then for me is that in the next 4 or 5 months we see more acquisition, and in spring, summertime, then we see more results from the exploration. And
yeah,
do you plan also drilling next year?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, you know, right now Cobb Creek would be the project that would rank the most highly for a drill program. And we'll see what other projects we bring in. If we bring in other projects that we feel are more compelling, those would get drilled first. But right now, it's Cop Creek is the most compelling project we have, and we think there's a great target to depth, and that's what we want to test. And also, it hasn't been drilled in almost 30 years. It's got a nice historic resource. It's near surface. It has a number of exploration targets. Some were drilled, some were not drilled. Some that were drilled, despite returning anomalous gold values, weren't followed up. So there's a lot of data, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of targets, just not in and around the historic resource, but some of these other smaller exploration targets. So we've got, we did just acquire it. We've got some work to do to really determine right now, if you're going to drill, where would you drill?
Okay. I think this was a great update. So quick, short, I like it.
Perfect.
Ja, was haben Sie gemacht? Wie wir damals im Mai schon gesprochen haben, Sie waren in einer Transaktion, wo Sie gesagt haben, wir wollen eigentlich unsere bestehenden oder einen Teil des bestehenden Projektes verkaufen. Das haben Sie auch gemacht an Rob McEwen. Haben sie das verkauft gegen 300.000 Aktien, was ungefähr $650.000 ungefähr ist. Und sie haben aber gestern, am 30. September, ein Akquisition bekannt gegeben. Sie haben ein neues Projekt in Nevada gekauft. Ihr Fokus ist prinzipiell Nevada und hat eine historische Ressource drauf von knapp unter 200.000. Das heißt, die Akquisition kommt auf gut unter $3 pro Unze, die eigentlich da ist. Es ist eine sehr oberflächennahe Ressource. Do you have an average grade of this historical?
Yeah, the average grade, there's an oxide zone and a sulfide zone, and basically the average between the two is approximately 1.5 grams per ton gold.
Mit durchschnittlich 1,5 Gramm pro Tonne Gold drinnen. Aber was der Vorteil ist, Sie haben extrem viele Daten dazu bekommen, manche Explorationstargets, die noch nicht gebohrt worden sind, manche sind schon gebohrt worden sind, manche haben super Ergebnisse gebracht, wurde aber nicht weiter verfolgt. Die Bohrungen sind übrigens 30 Jahre aus, also ist eine historische Ressource, keine aktuelle 3-4-1 Ressource. Und Ziel ist es, oder das ist jetzt eigentlich ein Flaggschiff-Projekt, aber sie wollen in den nächsten Monaten noch mehrere Projekte akquirieren und was sie nächstes Jahr dann explorieren, das wissen sie jetzt noch nicht, hängt davon ab, was sie noch akquirieren können, aber momentan ist das Projekt das Flaggschiffprojekt. Warum wollen sie nicht gleich anfangen? Das liegt vor allem auch am Wetter. Ich habe gesagt, Ende Oktober ist es so, dass die Wetterbedingungen sehr raff werden können in Nevada und dann macht es nicht wirklich Sinn, dass man exploriert. Das heißt, sie wollen jetzt die nächsten Monate noch mehr Projekte akquirieren, setzen dann einen Plan auf für den Frühjahr, Sommer nächsten Jahr in Nevada, um diese dann Projekte zum Akquirieren. Und das ist dann einfach auch die Zeit, wo es absolut Sinn macht. Und bis dorthin akquirieren sie halt noch neue Projekte. Ist interessant, vor allem natürlich das Projekt könnte natürlich schon eine interessante Sache sein. 200.000 Unze ist ein schöner Start. Was allerdings tiefer unten ist eine andere Sache, das muss man erst rausfinden. Und das wird sicher spannend werden, was so nächstes Jahr an Newsflow dementsprechend da ist. So, das war von Fremont Gold am 1. Oktober 2019 Vancouver. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for listening.